What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XRP today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, you guys. Let's get into it, okay? Let's talk about it. Here we are at about $2.41 right now. Looking at the 1 hour RSI, we're getting some pretty major volatility, right? You're getting oversold, going overbought, oversold, overbought, oversold. What are you doing? You're getting more overbought than you are getting oversold. So I suppose in this neutral kind of state of volatility, you are more bullishly charged. So that's a good thing looking at the 1 hour. You look at the price, it definitely looks neutral, but a little bit to the upside, right? Moving up there, so that's good. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, let's bump it out to the 4 hour. I want to take this low to high first real quick. Low to high here. You know, I got to say, I'm a little bit surprised you haven't interacted with the golden ratio, with how much you went below the 382 here and all these rejections off the 236. Normally, you would see some sustained breakouts below the 382, but you just haven't done that. So that's a bit interesting. The 1 hour RSI is too bullish for me to be bearish on it. So, and I say too bullish, it's just more bullish than it is bearish. And it's rather neutral. The 4 hour looks pretty bullish too, to be completely fair as well. I suppose there is some form of hidden bearish divergence, but I think it looks more bullish than bearish. I don't know, man. You've got a flat top there with ascending lows. I want to say XRP, you're going down to $2.11 to $2.05. I want to say that. And as a contingency, be prepared, okay? It's possible. But looking at the pattern, I can't help, and looking at the RSI on the 4 hour and the 1 hour, I can't help but think you're about to move out, man. You're about to break out. Today could be the day. If not today, tomorrow. But I think it is today, man. You're going to break out. You'll probably see prices today close above $2.50. When you get above $2.51, 2.5115, when you see any 4 hour closes above there, any daily closes above there, that solidifies this as a low, that solidifies this as a low. It solidifies the idea that you are, in fact, moving higher and having a proper retracement of this overall high to low here. So if that's what it looks like you want to do, let's take this high to low. High to low here, come on now. Yeah, you're at your 618 to 382. This makes so much sense. This is so perfect. So of course you would go higher. I probably said this in yesterday's video, you guys, but I make so many videos, I forget what's what sometimes, you know, and I have to refresh my memory. But that's how you know it's authentic, right? If I can come to the same conclusions, if I have to refresh my memory, but I'm coming to the same conclusions day after day, you know it's not fake, right? You know it's legitimate, right? So from a high to a low, what you're doing here, golden ratio down to your 382, very indicative behavior that you're about to run up to your 786, 886. And I would think by the end of this week, for sure, by the end of the week, XRP will be likely above $3. Will it close the week above $3? That I'm not so sure of, but I do suspect that you'll at least reach for that area. Something between 296 to 316. If I had to guess, I think you'll go probably above $3, man. 316 is what I'm looking for. 241 now. 4 days, 22 hours left in the week. That's not that much time left to move up. What percentage is that? 22 to 30%. I mean, let's even say it's probably like 31%. Yeah. 22.5 to 31%. XRP is going to move up 22.5 to 31% by the end of this week, man. Over the next 4 days, 22 hours. Yeah. I definitely believe that's going to happen. Looking at the daily RSI here, in a downtrend, lower highs or lower lows here, lower highs there, but it seems that you're at the base of this poorly drawn trend that I just had. You might, even if you're still in the downtrend, you might just come up and find some resistance there. That's enough, again, to I think at least retrace you to this area. Though again, I don't think that once you hit this area that you're going to go to zero. I think you might find a little turbulence there, perhaps even pull back, find a higher low at this area. But all in all, you're progressing higher to targets that are, you know, at $4, $5, and beyond. I very much do believe that you're going to see targets above $6.41 once you break out of this. So let's go over that real quick. Let's talk about this. first and foremost, actually, before we get into what you're doing on a very large scale, just what you're doing relatively speaking to, this is what you call a broadening top pattern, okay? It's where you have higher highs and lower lows in the same kind of top consolidation phase. They're somewhat rare patterns. Broadening wedges are not rare, but broadening tops. A broadening top is different than a broadening wedge. A broadening wedge can be you're broadening, but you're pointed to the downside. See, it's still broadening. Or you're broadening, but you're pointed to the upside. It's still broadening. But to have something that's truly got an upward slope and a downward slope, it's rather rare conditions. Just think about it. That's very volatile conditions that only get more volatile as time goes on, right? That's essentially what it is. Known for pretty powerful breakouts when they do happen. So if we are moving up to prices above $3, I think it's very indicative that we likely could break out of this. And again, this very kind of rare, it's not the most rare pattern, but it's not as common as it might seem, right? A lot of people, they might mistake broadening tops for broadening wedges. A broadening top is more specific. Again, higher highs, lower lows. It's a lot more specific than a broadening wedge, and they're known for pretty explosive breakouts. So when this comes, I very much do believe that we're going to see some stuff like that just based off of this alone. But if we look at the weekly time frame, okay, weekly time frame here, and we look at the, well, if you look at the weekly RSI, to be completely fair, first and foremost, I suppose it stands to reason that by the end of this week you could move a little bit down, right? We actually could be to the downside. So I'm not expecting it, but if you were to move down $2, 5 cents, $2, that area, that's where I would think you would go. So if that happens, just be prepared. That's a little contingency plan there, but I don't think it's going to happen, okay? If it happens, it's no reason to be concerned. It's just a reason to buy more. The only thing giving me room to breathe that into existence is this weekly RSI here. But if you're looking at the price on a weekly standpoint, you can see that you've been in a multi-cycle symmetrical triangle is what they call this, right? Where you have lower highs, higher lows, stuff like this. It's kind of the opposite of a broadening top. It's a narrowing top. And we broke out to the upside, right? We're basically right here breaking out to new all-time highs. What we've done is we've broken out of the pattern. We're now consolidating right above or right at our all-time high area. This is very good structure and likely leads to higher targets, right? This in itself, just the way that you're interacting with this overall pattern, I could have said nothing else this whole video and just showed this, and this should automatically make any person who's done technical analysis for I mean, I don't know, as long as I have, 8 years or more, even people who've done this probably for like a year would know that this is a very good phase of consolidation, and it likely takes you to extensions based off of this overall consolidation phase. So the extensions are as follows, right? From the high to a low, and that was not the high. That's not the low either. Let's get the low there. High to low, the minimum extension is at $8.37. The maximum, and this is your primary target, the 1272. The primary target zone is the 1272 to the 1618. Okay, so you have 837 as a minimum, $27 as a maximum. XRP could definitely go higher than that, but that's just from the high to low of the range here. Okay, $8.37. You take the high to the low of the last cycle, right? The last cycle's high to the bear market low there. The minimum target is at about 331, which you've already hit. You're consolidating there now. So likely your next target would be at least 641, the 1618. If you go above the 1618, you likely don't stop until you hit the 1886 here at 1071. But hold up now, you have the 1272 in the way before you get to 1071. So there's a lot of turbulence, is all I'm trying to say, between 641 and this path to basically 1350. I do believe XRP will be worth more than $20. I believe it'll be worth even more than $40 by the end of the cycle. Much past that I have a hard time seeing, but I can accept it's possible. But $10.71, if you get there, I would think that that's a very doable target, because first off, if you get above 641, your next target area would be the 1886. So that would imply that you go there. Secondly, with the 1272, it's very common. Sometimes you do bounce right off of it. It can happen. But it's very common to go just above it. And right above it is that 1886 at about 1071. We take that, we run with that, and we look at this kind of as maybe a bull flag instead of just a broadening top. If we were to kind of treat this like some kind of bull flag, maybe it's in a horizontal range, whatever, that same target move would take you just above that that 1886 area, right? That target move puts you right at about $12, right there, right at about $12. We go back here, $12 is right between 13 and 1071, which would be that next target area after breaking above the golden ratio, which again, it's pretty common to go just above your 1272, but sometimes you do tip it for resistance, right? Like here, for example, you did go just above it, but just barely. You more tipped it for resistance, so it's pretty common to do that too. I don't know, man. I would think you're at 241 now. When it comes time to moving higher, when you get above $3.31, you likely don't stop until at least 641. There's a solid chance to go to 1071, $13, somewhere in that area, but you really could stop somewhere along the way as well. So time will tell. I expect something around, if not more than, a 3x to happen for XRP between now and the end of March. I think this move is going to happen soon. I think we're going to break out and move out by the end of this month, probably starting by the end of this week. If not, sometime next week, we'll start breaking out and moving on to new highs. And then going into March, we'll see the full maturity of this move come into play when we're well above $6, maybe even well above $8, reaching for $13 or higher. We'll see. But I've got nothing else for you guys. I hope you liked the video. If you did, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I suppose what we could do real quick is look at the ribbon. Let's just look at the ribbon real quick. Weekly ribbon looks fine. It actually looks really good. That's an ideal look. 3-day time frame suggests you go lower, but the 3 days kind of weird sometimes. The daily is actually right on the precipice, I would think, of seeing a move up. The daily wants you to get above 266. If you can get above 266, you're looking good. If in like 4 days you're not above 266, if by the end of this week you're not, maybe we go lower. That's what the daily tells us. Other than that, there's not a whole lot to take away from the ribbon, so that's all I got for you guys. If you liked the video, again, hit the like button. Thank you all for being here. I greatly appreciate you. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I'm going to go. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.